Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to imprint their desires into reality, while for others everything falls apart in their hands? The reason is not luck, and not some special destiny. The reason lies in the fundamental physics of the process. Your reality is unstable for only one reason. You blink too often. The world you see is not solid matter. It is an infinite cloud of probabilities. And right now, science is confirming what once sounded like magic. You literally freeze events with your gaze. But if your attention is fragmented and unstable, your life turns into chaos. Forget about a static, predictable world. At the deepest level, matter does not exist. There are only waves of probability. Any result, any goal you have already exists in the quantum field as a possible scenario. But until someone observes it, it remains in a state of uncertainty. It is nothing. The system selects a specific physical outcome only when an observer appears. You are that observer. In quantum physics, there is a striking phenomenon, the Zeno effect. Its principle is simple. If you observe an unstable system continuously, without interruption, it will never change. It literally freezes in the state you hold it in with your attention. In life, it works the same way. Your goal is a particle that must be held in your focus until it gains density and becomes your reality. But the moment you get distracted, the system instantly begins to collapse. Most people act impulsively. They create a powerful burst of attention, and then get distracted by noise, doubts, or daily routine. In that microsecond, when focus is lost, the quantum system resets. Many believe manifestation is some kind of one-time miracle. It is not. It is a physical process that depends on the frequency and density of your attention. If you look at your goal once a week, the system has time to collapse into chaos 1,000 times. If you maintain continuous focus, you give reality no chance to revert. Reality flows and changes only when the system administrator steps away. When you allow thoughts like, maybe it's not the right time, or this isn't for me, you are literally taking your hand off the control panel. You interrupt the process at the exact moment it was about to become matter. Your reality is like clay. It solidifies only under a steady, uninterrupted gaze. Attention discipline is not a psychological trick. It is a method of holding reality in the form you need, without letting it collapse back into probability noise. Why is it so difficult to maintain focus? Why does internal resistance appear precisely at the moments of maximum concentration? The answer lies in the basic algorithms of the human organism. The brain is an extremely complex system that, despite its efficiency, is designed to conserve energy. The act of creation and sustained focus on a complex goal is a peak load. For the biological system, this level of concentration is equivalent to a survival mode that requires massive energy consumption. In response, protective mechanisms activate. Their purpose is to return the system to rest in order to conserve energy. This is when internal interference begins. When your attention locks onto a new, large-scale goal, your brain starts generating logical explanations to justify returning to a familiar state. This appears as a set of universal patterns, the illusion of wrong timing or external circumstances, doubts about your chosen direction, sudden fatigue or loss of interest. It is important to understand, these signals are not intuition and not objective reality. They are technical noise of your biocomputer trying to optimize energy consumption. Every time your attention shifts to these thoughts, the process of quantum construction of events is paused. Discipline in this context is not self-struggle. It is the ability to manage your own biocomputer. Biology seeks efficiency, but consciousness can set new priorities. Training is the process of learning to separate your true intentions from automatic system signals, doubts, and fears. The ability to ignore this noise and continue holding the desired pattern of attention gradually rewires your neural networks. Over time, what once required extreme effort becomes a natural mode of operation. Any internal argument telling you to delay or quit is just a programmed filter trying to preserve the status quo. Real work begins when you recognize these impulses as technical interference and continue maintaining your focus despite them. Many people wait for motivation or a specific emotional state before they begin to act. But in the world of quantum physics and neuroscience, waiting for motivation is a fatal mistake. Motivation is a short-term chemical spike. Reality is built over time. This is where discipline enters the game. And it should not be seen as a personality trait, but as a physical muscle. Motivation is like a flash, bright but brief. It lights up the system and quickly fades, leaving everything in darkness. If you rely only on it, your focus becomes chaotic. Discipline, however, is like a powerful spotlight connected to a stable power source. This is not a one-time act of will. It is the skill of maintaining focus despite the natural resistance of the system. If muscles grow under the weight of a barbell, then the muscle of attention grows in those moments when the brain tries to get distracted, but consciousness brings it back to the point of creation. Training attention discipline is identical to training in a gym. It has its own stages. Load. This is the moment when you must hold your focus on the goal despite noise, fatigue, or the desire to switch to something easier. Failure point. This is the state when the brain begins to generate excuses. Not today. I've already done enough. This is exactly where real growth begins. If at this moment you do not give in and hold your focus for just a few more minutes, your neural network begins to rewire. Consistency. The quantum Zeno effect we talked about works only under the condition of high-frequency observation. Skipping focus training is not just a pause. It is a step backward, allowing reality to collapse back into chaos. Dry focus training. The method is simple, but it requires strictness. It is a daily practice of holding your internal state and external goal in one point, without emotions, without expectations, just technical maintenance of the pattern. Discipline is the ability to execute a chosen algorithm exactly at the moment when you least feel like doing it. This is when neural pathways are trained. Over time, system resistance weakens, and maintaining focus becomes not effort, but a natural state. To begin creating, you must train your ability to create in any state. Only dry, daily training of the attention muscle makes the observer strong enough for reality to begin obeying his will. In the process of creation, there is one invisible enemy that can erase months of training in a split second. This enemy is doubt. Most people believe doubt is a sign of logic or critical thinking. In reality, from the perspective of quantum mechanics and neuroscience, it is a dangerous virus that presses the cancel button right on the runway. As we know from the Zeno effect, reality takes form only under continuous focus. Doubt is an instant break in that focus. The moment a thought appears, what if it doesn't work? Attention shifts from the result to the failure. For the quantum field, this is a direct command. Stop building the current scenario and start building failure. Every what if is a system error that forces a full reset. You literally delete the file of your future while it is still being written. You must learn to see doubt not as a deep philosophical question, but as a simple software bug. When a critical error appears on a computer, we don't analyze its meaning. We close it and restore the system. Doubt must be treated the same way. It is not part of your personality. It is a virus loaded from old neural patterns and fears. It disguises itself as logic to make you look away and allow reality to collapse again. The key to dealing with this virus is awareness. You must learn to recognize doubt the moment it appears. The instant a thought arises like, maybe I can't do this. Maybe it's just coincidence. The timing isn't right. You must label it immediately as a system error. Do not engage with it. Do not argue with it. That only gives it more attention and energy. Simply acknowledge, this is doubt. It is trying to cancel my process, and immediately return your focus to the result. Doubt is not your opinion. It is a destructive algorithm. Success does not depend on the absence of doubt, but on the speed of recognizing and removing it. To prevent system reset, you must keep your focus clean, treating any fluctuations as system noise that has nothing to do with reality. The final stage of this path is the transition from struggle to a state known in science as coherence. This is the moment when discipline stops being effort and becomes your natural frequency. When the neurons of the brain work in sync, and the quantum field no longer receives conflicting commands, an effect appears that looks like magic from the outside. Events begin to unfold on their own. In a state of coherence, your internal biocomputer and the external field of probabilities align on the same frequency. Thanks to the discipline of attention you trained, the noise of doubt disappears. This creates a powerful, clean signal. Imagine a laser. It is just light, but because its waves are perfectly aligned, it can cut through metal. The same applies to your attention. When it is structured by discipline, it cuts through the chaos of circumstances, aligning them into a clear path of your success. The state of a master is not about applying more effort, but about having zero resistance. You no longer waste energy fighting laziness or suppressing doubt. All your energy is directed into one point. At that moment, reality stops resisting. The right people appear at the right time. Information comes exactly when needed. Obstacles either disappear or turn into steps forward. This is not luck. It is the physical result of becoming a stable observer. The quantum field simply has no option left but to reflect the reality you hold with unwavering focus. Absolute control of attention gives you freedom from external conditions. You are no longer dependent on whether the day is good or bad, what is happening in the world, or what others say. You become the source of order in your own universe. Life transforms from hard labor into the process of precise construction. You hold the pattern, and reality obeys. The final goal of discipline is to reach a state where creation happens effortlessly. When the brain and the quantum field work together, struggle ends and mastery begins. This is the point where you stop chasing results and become the center of attraction, where results are inevitable. Thank you for being with me on this channel. I wish you the best possible branch of reality. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.